abroad models are really, really celebrated, almost like Hollywood stars. Of late, it's not been happening in India. You don't have girls who are called supermodels, or you don't have a Madhu Sapre or a Sheetal Malhar anymore. That era is gone, and obviously, with the number of people coming to Bombay and choosing this career, has kind of diluted it.
There are many celebrities and there are many aspirants who are willing to wear anything in the name of creativity, just because that they want to get eyeballs, or just because they want to get more views, more footfall and recognition. They openly say that we want views. We don't care if our fashion sense is being criticized, or we are being talked about badly. We are only concerned with the views. We only want to get views. So what's your opinion on that? What do you say
See,
on that?
I think that you do you, like whatever floats your boat, you should do that, and you have to do what you are comfortable doing.
Tone, the fairness creams, fairness, zero size, all these things used to be very much important in past. Do you think that the mindset has changed? Do you think that now, people are not trying to change the skin color, tone, or they're not pressurizing you? How much of pressure women
Yeah,
have in industry?
I see it. I won't lie. The pressure previously was enormous because you're expected to be a certain size. You are expected to be fitting a certain size, because it just makes it easy for the designers. It's not that people want you to be skinny or people want models to be thin. It's just that clothes for the runway are made in a particular size, which makes it easy for the designer. Look, a human is making 40 garments which he wants to sell. Those 40 garments can't be made in different sizes. He would make it in a size, and so they would want models of a particular size so that they fit the garment. Nobody was trying to promote anything unhealthy over there. But the problem happens when suddenly what for me has changed right now. There was a time when it was Bollywood, now there's Bollywood and there's OTT. And OTT has many more acting options, and OTT is not so hell-bent on look aise hona chahiye. They are more about you have to have your acting chops in place. But I take a lot of vegetables, little lesser fish in my plate, and maybe I stick to ragi, bajra or red rice for my thing. And none of this has to do with maintaining a certain figure. It's just that because I practice martial arts, because I realize the difference it shows when I'm performing as an artist. I realized that my kicks are stronger when I've stopped having sugar completely. I don't have sugar, and I don't think sugar should be called sugar. I think sugar should be called poison. If you're consuming sugar, you're consuming poison, and that's just me. You can consume it if you want to, but if you stop sugar for around 40 days, you'll see a huge difference in your skin and just your energy levels through the day. You'll see, if you're a performing artist, you will see that you'll be able to perform more in the same amount of time.
So Priyanka has been a name to reckon with in the arena of modeling industry, and now she's also made her foray into the world of acting as well. She has recently debuted with Netflix's show, a hijack thriller, Chor Nikal Ke Bhaga, which got her critical acclaim. And in addition to this, she's also been working as a philanthropist and supporting many social causes. So as a successful model, actor and philanthropist, we will discuss today how she strikes a balance between playing diverse roles and also how she takes care of her skin and fitness on daily basis despite being overly busy. We are also joined in today by Richa Agarwal, who's a beauty and lifestyle editor, consultant, high-end persona, and a seasoned beauty expert. Richa is known for formulating many skincare and beauty treatments also in the past that have been taken up really well. And so let's begin the conversation. And as Richa and Priyanka both share the dais with us. So Priyanka, to begin with you, please tell us something about your recent projects and whatever you have done in past recently.
So I actually started off as a performer. I've been a performing artist since I was a child. At a very young age, I was introduced to Indian classical dancing, Bharatanatyam and Kuchipudi, and I represented our country performing in different parts of the world. And then, obviously, once you're in this field and you're exposed and you're used to a platform and you're used to performing on stage, you tend to explored that field a lot more. And I studied my theater and drama at New York Film Academy. I came back, but when I came back to India, acting didn't happen to me instantly. I had to go through the process of finding a foothold in this industry, and I stumbled upon modeling. It just happened to me. And it was a plus, like my skin color, being of a slender frame really helped me to pick up a lot of modeling projects. I got lucky, or I was really hardworking. I got the Kingfisher calendar. I did plenty of magazine covers, whether it's Harper's Bazaar, Travel and Leisure, editorials for Vogue, did it all. And then TV commercials started happening, where I realized that I really enjoy moving pictures as well. It's very, very different from still pictures and posing for the camera. When moving pictures started happening for me, like ads basically, I realized that my acting potential had not been tapped into yet. And that was the talent that I had, which I had not been using. And once you start being in front of the camera, you realize that's the place you want to be. Luckily for me, OTT gave a lot of opportunities. I did a few web shows, and now Netflix happened, Chor Nikal Ke Bhaga happened, and another short film of mine, Radhan, which is doing exceptionally well, is it's going for all these film festivals. It's going to release on an OTT soon. So yeah.
Okay, as you've told me, Priyanka, that you followed theater and you pursued the education also in that arena. So, what made you join immediately after doing theater, your education, and you're a classical dancer as well? You've learned the art. What made you get into the vertical of modeling and not pursue, theater at that point in time?
So I did do theater. I worked with Lilith Dubey for a bit. When I came back for 2 years, I think I did a play called Where Did I Leave My Parda, which had a very tight, amazing cast of 5 people: me, Lilith Dubey, Alia Bhatt's mother, Soni Razda, Sid Makar, and Neha Dubey. It was a lovely play written by Mahesh Dattani. And I was very, very lucky because that was a play that let me play 5 characters on stage, 5 different characters from different eras, and it was a very challenging character, very challenging play actually for any kind of actor, and I was very lucky. But unfortunately, theater does not pay as well. I was not doing theater with a lot of different groups. I was just working with Lilette on this one play. So I realized that I need to do more, and modeling really helped at that time, because I would approach a lot of talent agencies and they would send me for castings that were to do with modeling. So that's how I chanced upon modeling.
Okay, so you also shot for Kingfisher Calendar, as you just mentioned. Could you tell us something about that and share some interesting experiences of working around on those beaches and exotic locations and
It's not
shooting
as
with so many
glamorous.
beautiful models? And how was the overall, ambience on the set and the feeling of competition?
It's honestly not as glamorous as it seems. When you're shooting for the Kingfisher model, it's more about the location than the model itself. So you're like traveling to different places, and the thing is that uh, we shot in Croatia. And Croatia was really just getting into winter at that time. And as you know, the Kingfisher calendar is about bikinis. So it was a challenge. At one point, I was to pose in 5 degrees Celsius water, which was really cold, in a bikini. And you're lying down in the water and you're made to look glamorous at that time. But
You know,
it was a challenge.
we also used to see the very difficult and very tough kind of poses, models being asked to pose in a very different manner. So we used to wonder, how do they do this? They look very good on camera, but I'm sure they must have been very difficult for models to pose. So what's your take on that, those kind of poses?
Actually, once you're like when getting the Kingfisher calendar is an extensive audition process that you need to go through. So you have to be able to withstand the weather, fight different conditions, not be conscious, not be inhibited, and only then you would get selected to be in a calendar like that, of that standard. So I think the Kingfisher calendar just didn't happen to me. I think after modeling for 3 years, I went for the audition, and then there were 2 rounds. 50 girls walk in every day for 2 months, and then from those number of girls, 6 girls get selected to be in the calendar. So they also make sure they select people who have the experience, who knows their job in front of the camera, which only comes with experience and practice.
Right. So, not only Kingfisher Calendar, but similar such more projects. What remains the most interesting parts when you are shooting for ad campaigns or calendars or other assignments?
Ads, everything. I think every experience is different. As a model, as an actor, you're really, really lucky because you get to work with a lot of different people on each and every set. And no one shoot is similar to the other shoot. I'll tell you the beauty about being a model, especially for print. Uh, People can show you a reference and try to recreate that. But at the end of the day, it's a lot of different creatives, like for instance a model, a photographer, a fashion stylist, a hair and makeup artist, a creative director. You have all these creatives coming together with their own set of talents, bringing together things on the table, putting it together, and you don't know what you're going to create. It's almost like a empty canvas, but it's the energies of all these people, the talent of all these people that fills in the canvas. So every frame is different. Like I was just talking to somebody the other day, and I said that, you can get the same location, you can get the same lights, and you can get the same model. But when the team is different, the picture will change every single time. You're not going to be able to capture that same picture twice. So that's the beauty of print shoots. And that's what I love about it, being able to create something new every single time. On the other hand, when you're shooting for moving pictures like ads, or when you're acting, actors are very intuitive people. Like you can prepare as much as you want before going on sets. You can know your lines. You can do as much homework as you want to. But the minute you reach set, and people start filling you in, your director has something to fill you in with, the set and the location fills you in with something, and then when you say your dialogues, or then when you say your lines, it's completely different from what you've practiced in front of the mirror, or what you practiced at home, or whatever you've done with your acting coach. So both, every job, every experience is different, and that's the best part about being an actor and a model.
And what kind of a challenges you think, you have been a seasoned model, and what kind of challenges you think are still existing for models?
I think for models, it's almost like it's really sad uh, that modeling is not given the kind of glory it deserves. Abroad, models are really, really celebrated, almost like Hollywood stars. Of late, it's not been happening in India. You don't have girls who are called supermodels, or you don't have a Madhu Sapre or a Sheetal Malhar anymore. That era is gone, and obviously, with the number of people coming to Bombay and choosing this career, has kind of diluted it a lot. I don't think it's as celebrated as it should be. And the sad part is that people believe that modeling is not a very intellectual job. They actually believe that, oh, what do you like? All you have to do is stay fit and look good in front of the camera. But let me tell you something. From the past years of experience, I know that I am I'm a working professional who has to maintain a lot of discipline to look a certain way. I know that I'm my own makeup artist. I know that I'm my own PR person. I know that I'm my own manager because I keep sending out emails for people to hire me. I have to keep uploading my Polaroids, keep reinventing myself, keep growing my skills, dancing, or whether it's diving, or whether it's swimming, or whatever, singing. You're constantly upgrading yourself to get new jobs over and over again. So the sad part is that it's not celebrated enough. And after a point, models, there are different career options, like you become a choreographer, or you can become an entrepreneur, because it gets you a limited amount of fame, as I can say, but not as much as it should give you. So that's the downside.
Yes, since the career of models is very short-lived, and I also feel that a lot of limelight is stolen by Bollywood celebrities,
and even influencers nowadays. I think a lot of marketing has started on Instagram, and brands are now diverting towards influencers and people who have followers on Instagram. And there are some girls, some models who are really, really good at doing their handling their social media, but there are many girls who are still pretty old school who don't know how to do it. And obviously the influencers are great at what they do. They are amazing, and brands head to them, and many girls lose out on a lot of jobs because of that.
But don't you think that models have a better edge if they try being influencer? Like in your case, also you also do a lot of social media influencing, and you are a digital creator also. So don't you think that adds value? Your being a model, a successful model, adds value to your being a digital creator.
Yeah. It definitely does add value, but both the jobs are very, very different. I personally think that I kind of managed to do it. I'm not great at it, but I managed to do it. I when I see a lot of there are influencers work out there, I'm like, boy, they put in so much work. I can either do that, or I can audition and focus on my craft. Doing both is kind of stretching myself a bit too much. So I do a little bit of what I can. More of it just comes naturally because the following and everything comes rather naturally, because people know I'm in this field. People are curious of what I do, and so, hence the following. But otherwise, when with those changes and transitions and all of that, keeping up is quite a difficulty.
Quite difficult, true. So, social media verticals have given opportunities to many aspirants.
Yes,
But
absolutely.
it has also made the competition very stiff and more challenging. So, what's your take on this? Because there are so many, I mean, you open Instagram, so the platform is flooded with so many reels and influencers coming up every second day and creating something innovative, or something which is not very
Yeah,
innovative. So,
absolutely. The influencer market has completely changed the ball game for a lot of people, and it has completely changed the advertising scenario, especially digitally. But at the end of the day, I also believe that as a working model and a working professional, if you put in the hard work, if you maintain your discipline, and if you will get work constantly. Nothing can take that away. You may not get the Instagram fame as such, or the followers that influencers have, because that's entirely different. I think influencers really dedicate a lot of their time and life, and it's a lot of hard work. And modeling by itself is also a lot of hard work. On a regular day, when I start my auditions, I start at probably 10 in the morning, and sometimes I don't even get time to eat lunch, and I have my lunch, say, by around 6 or 7 in the evening, because my full day goes auditioning for different ads or commercials, or sending Polaroids, or something or the other for some campaign.
So how
So
do you still get nervous? Do you still
no.
feel anxiety before you are
No.
preparing to give auditions, or how does it go? Just tell it for the people who are new for all this.
I don't get nervous anymore. Like, in fact, I think in life I would be nervous, but the minute the camera comes on, it's game on, and I'm just so used to having that game on face in front of the camera that that's the place where I actually find my confidence, or I find myself, or I really feel like I'm alive in those moments. It's actually vice versa. Maybe I could get anxious while taking a flight or reaching late for like a meeting or something like that. But when the camera comes on, everything changes.
So how do
So
you gain that comfort level with camera? What do you
I
tell
think
camera? How do you prepare
it's
yourself?
practice. I really think it's practice, and it also comes from a place of passion,
Hmm.
where I spent a lot of my time, my teen years especially. I was very lucky to get my hands on a lot of Vogue and Harper's, which my mom used to bring from international destinations, and I spent a lot of time browsing through them and going through them, and looking at the Kate Moss and the Naomi Campbells, and looking at David LaChapelle's photography, and getting inspired from a lot of these fashion influences in during my growing up age. Also, I went to fashion school. I studied designing. So for me, just being involved in that industry taught me a lot about clothes, about garments, about uh, understanding fabrics, the fluidity of fabrics, and automatically you realize how to pose in which garment.
Hmm.
So if I'm wearing a lehenga which is light in weight, I can swirl, I can twirl, I can throw it around and push it around and make the fluid fabric look good for the camera, as opposed to if I'm wearing like a trench coat, I would give more masculine structured poses. So I think just having that background of fashion, understanding the fashion industry, photography, lighting really helped me.
Hmm.
Uh, so many girls just learn this on the job. For me, it was a realization that my fashion background helped me. So for anyone who's aspiring to be a fashion model or who enjoys being in front of the camera, my advice to them would be is just wear different clothes, feel it, and look at magazines, look at the 60s had like a great set of fashion models to take as inspiration, go through their work. From Twiggy to Kate Moss, everyone was amazing. So go through their work, and obviously look at all the models on the ramp if you want to be a ramp model, and learn their work. Every model has a specific work, so try to you know uh,
Emulate that.
impo- emulate that, impersonate that, and soon you'll get your own style. Soon
True.
you'll be famous for something that you are good at.
True.
So that's what I could tell people who want to do this.
I really agree with you. I mean, for people who have that, sense of fashion, who are familiar with the classy fashion, fashion that's appealing, they have that finesse, to emulate a particular style of fashion and then pose for camera. But now we can see after the surge of social media platforms like Instagram and all, there are many celebrities and there are many aspirants who are willing to wear anything in the name of creativity, just because that they want to get eyeballs, or just because they want to get more views, more footfall and recognition. They openly say that we want views. We don't care if our fashion sense is being criticized or we are being talked about badly. We are only concerned with the views. We only want to get views. So what's your opinion on that? What do you say
See,
on that?
I think that you do you, like whatever floats your boat, you should
Hmm.
do that. And you
Yeah.
have to do what you are comfortable doing. A person may not be comfortable viewing those kind of clothes on a woman, or this is the thing about fashion and style. It's extremely subjective, right? What we may find not fashionable, there may be an audience for that that finds it fashionable. And if people are very clear about what they want, I'm very happy for them. If they know that we want views and our goal is to increase our followers and they have found a way to do it, I appreciate that. Look, we are in a very, very competitive world right now. And it's not easy to be out there and to be bold and be out there. I don't think it's an easy feat, right? So if someone or anyone is doing certain things for views, I don't sit on a high horse and judge them, because it's not an easy industry to be in. And if you're doing something uh, which is termed as bold, or rather audacious, it takes a lot of courage, especially with the way people troll, especially with the way people talk openly, especially with the way people comment, to still have a vision for yourself and say that my goal is to get followers and this is what I'm going to do for it. If a person is clear about that, good for them. I don't think I'm going to hold anything against anyone. So yeah.
So sometimes you must have also faced a situation where you are trolled on social media for a particular A style or B style. So how do you cope up with that, pressure and
You
that trolling?
honestly, touch wood, till today I have never 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 been trolled. In
Okay.
fact, I'm one of those people who does not even get those shady DMs or messages in my inbox. And
So
I
so
keep asking my friends and family that what is wrong with my Instagram? Why am I not getting shady messages? So yeah, I've not been trolled. I would not know what that feels like.
hmm.
Uh, but what I do know is that if you are getting trolled in today's time, you are getting eyeballs also. People have noticed something, and something you've done has has made people take out time from their lives to comment on you. So that's a good thing, I feel. I don't think
Any
if
kind of attention is a good attention.
I don't think any kind of attention is a good attention. I think that if you manage as a human being
Hmm.
to make someone else take out time from their lives to comment on you, uh, because we are living in a fast-paced life.
They are
Let's be
taking you.
honest.
Yeah.
Yeah, we are living in a fast-paced life. No one has time for anything. But if they do, if people sitting there, trolls sitting there, have the time to sit and comment on your picture, boss, you've done something right. I'm not saying any attention is good attention, because it can get very ugly. It's not happened with me.
Hmm.
But I mean, hats off to the people who can deal with it. Yeah.
Agree. So, coming back to your Bollywood project like Chor Nikal Ke Bhaga, how did you bag this role, and how has been your experience of working with the star cast of the movie with Yami Gautam and other people on the board?
So, Chor Nikal Ke Bhaga happened to me when I was actually I just come back from a shoot from Goa,
Hmm.
and I tested positive. I had COVID and I was absolutely unwell. And when the casting director messaged me, he asked me that, will you test for this part? It's an air hostess part. It's a South Indian air hostess. And that's my mother. She's a South Indian air hostess. So I was like, oh my God, this part is so cool.
Hmm.
And, but I could not, because I was isolated. I did not, I could not stand up. I was really, really weak and all of that. And I just let it pass actually. Then after 15 days, the casting director messaged me again saying that, hey, are you better? Do you still want to audition for the part? I was like, yeah, sure. So they gave me around 2, 3 scenes to do.
Hmm.
And obviously I improvised a bit in my auditions. And it was a casting process of around 6 months, I believe. And after around 6 months, I got a call back saying that, hey, you'd audition for this part. And honestly, I'd even forgotten about it, because that's what you do, right? You face rejection on a daily basis, and you're like, okay, let's move on to our next project, next project. So I was constantly shooting, and suddenly I got a call saying that, hey, they want to meet you. Would you come to the Maddock office? And I was like, oh, it's happening. And so that's how it happened.
Okay. So, and tell us something more about any future Bollywood projects that you're eyeing, or something which is in the pipeline.
There is an amazing OTT project that is in the pipeline, but I cannot talk about it.
Hmm.
The minute an announcement is made or something, I will happily shout out loud. But right now, I can't talk about it. But I can guarantee you that there's some good stuff coming.
So, if I may ask you, which part of South India you are hailing from? Where do you stay?
I'm a big cocktail, actually, because my father is from Kerala, so I'm a Malayali. My mother is from Tamil Nadu, and her father was a Naidu, and her mother was a Catholic. So I'm this huge cocktail. And my father, though he was a Malayali, was brought up in Chennai and then moved to Mumbai. So yeah, I'm all of South India.
Okay. How much time you spend in Mumbai and how much time in Kerala? How does it go like for you?
No. I'm full time in Mumbai. Like my parents shifted to Bombay a long time back, when they were in their 20s, I believe. So I'm a complete Bombay girl. I have been born and brought up over here, and I'm a Malayali from Mumbai.
Since southern cinema is coming up really well, with stars from south taking over even the Bollywood film industry, and doing such
Even Hollywood.
even Hollywood now with Natu Natu. So such exceptional work. Can we see you coming, appearing in southern movies also?
So
And
I
back?
have auditioned for a few
Yeah.
South films, especially after Chor Nikal Ke Bhaga happened. A
Mm,
few South productions have approached me.
mm.
Nothing has panned out yet, so I can't talk about it. But yeah, I think there are good prospects, and I think it'll be great to be a part of South Indian cinema, especially Malayali cinema. They're doing some amazing work, and I would love to be a part of it.
Great. And you are really inspiring as a digital creator. Also, I saw your reels also, your post also. So, from where do you get those, creative ideas and inspirations to create something new every time, especially when we have so much of competition?
I don't do what like influencers do, of those changing clothes and makeup and all of that. My
Mm.
posts are more to do with my craft, more to do with acting, more to do with dancing, more to do with my skill sets. So I don't really take out time to make these reels. It's a part of my daily life. I dance regularly to keep in touch with the art form, to
Mhm.
make sure that when I get a project, I have my A game on. And when I practice, I just shoot it and I put those things up. uh, it, that doesn't mean that there's no effort in it. There is a lot of effort that goes into it, but
Mm.
at the same time, it's not like where I take out time and shoot a reel in a particular way or something like that. Similarly, with all the other projects, when I'm on set, it's really simple. The phone has made it very easy to shoot and put up reels. So whenever I'm on set and we do get a lot of spare time while shooting, I keep making reels. And
You make it yourself from your phone?
yeah, absolutely. I make it on my own with my phone, and I edit on my own, and I do all of it on my own.
Lovely. I mean, this is, excellent. Instead of following suit and following one another, it's good to focus on your own set of skills and highlight those skills through those, innovative
Absolutely.
reels and posts or whatever, so that
Yeah,
your
yeah,
craft
yeah.
is also highlighted.
Yeah. I have very clear rules for myself when it comes to Instagram, or when it comes to any of these social media platforms. It can be extremely, it can completely suck you in. It can take you
Mm.
in, and you're constantly looking at other people's life, and you tend to then want what other people have, as opposed to realizing what you truly want, what are your strengths, and you tend to lose focus on your goals. And I've caught myself, so many times, realizing that this is not what I want, and then realizing, oh, this is what I truly want to do. And that made me realize that it's nicer to not compete with the craziness or the trends that are going on online, but you'd rather just focus on uh, your strengths, on where you want to be, and you can constantly keep posting about that, because that's how people hire you. Honestly, I have a lot of casting directors, producers who follow me on Instagram, and I would like them to know me for my skills. I would like them to know me for Priyanka Karunakaran, who's a classical dancer, Priyanka Karunakaran, who is a dancer, or Priyanka Karunakaran, who's an actor, or Priyanka Karunakaran, who's on set, who's shooting as a model. Only things that I put up on Instagram.
Great. So Priyanka Karunakaran is also a very pretty and a beautiful girl. And we would like to know from her as to how she keeps her fitness regime on regular basis, and what all she does to kind of maintain her beauty or enhance it rather. So I would be now request Richa ji to chip in and, ask her a few questions about her beauty, skincare and fitness regime.
Sure.
Hi, Priyanka. I think we
Hi.
should start with your, must beauty and healthcare regime. What is your, must do every day must?
My must, in fact, there's an ingredient which is my must, and that's called coconut oil. I love coconut oil. I use it for my hair, for my skin, and it's actually what my grandmother and my mother also used extremely regularly. Uh, so coconut oil is my must in my life. I sometimes even add it to my coffee in the morning. I drink it, I put it on my skin, I put it on my hair after a shoot. And oil is really something I can actually say that I cannot live without. uh, Besides that, I think the regulars, right? You eat on time, drink enough water, um, you exercise, very important. I've been a martial artist. I practice kickboxing at least twice a week. I have a sir who's been training me for almost 8 years, and uh, he's really helped me. What do you say? Sculpt my body. I had a very different physique as a child, and it has changed and evolved over a period of time. Even my relationship with my body has kind of changed over a period of time. So I think it's just about doing everything in balance. That's a must.
Okay. Tell me one thing. Do you go for still shoots? You go for the stage. You go for the movies and all. How much do you like to experiment with your hair, your makeup, your looks? How much are you comfortable?
Oh, I've
Experiment.
done. I think with my hair, I have literally. I have done everything to my hair. I've gone from having literally a buzz cut to absolutely long hair. I've done it all. My hair is had every color on it, from platinum white to red to pink, to being colored for 13 hours for a campaign that I done for Streaks. And yeah, I've really put my hair through a lot of stuff. And to God's grace, it still exists on my head. I don't take that for granted. And I think the only thing that has been continuous is oiling my hair. That has, I think, managed to keep it still intact. So I've really experimented. In terms of physicality, I don't think I have challenged my body like that as yet. Like no one has ever asked me to put on weight for a role or to put on muscle for a role. I've always been slender, and that's how I've kept it. I don't know how I would react
Makeup?
if someone. Oh yeah, makeup. I love makeup. I think. See, when you're a fashion model, people do a lot of different looks on you and experiment with a lot of hair and makeup on you by default, right? It comes with the profession, and it gets rubbed off. I love it. Like every time I go out, I'm someone who I just have two versions of myself. One is like my family says that there's a garib version. She'll be wearing a ganji and pajama and sitting down, and the other version is where she's really dressed up. Like you go into the room and then the person who comes out is like, who is she? We don't recognize her at all because she's so done up. So I just have these two versions of myself, and I love dressing up. In fact, I love the evening gown thing, or where you actually dress up. And I love, like, I just imagine for now, because I've not had a chance, but when you see the Met Gala, or when you see the fashion statements that people are making there, if I get to get that one day, I'm going to be like so crazy. I'm going to experiment like crazy on the red carpet.
So, if you get a chance to go to Met Gala, definitely would like to have something different than the regular looks.
Oh,
You would like to...
absolutely, absolutely. I'm a fashion student, and I can already feel the pressure while talking about it. But the day I get a chance like that, I think I'll go all guns blazing. Yeah.
So I'm so sorry to interject. Whose look did you admire the most in recent Met Gala?
I loved Anne Hathaway's look. Oh my God, she was so. It was beautiful. I think her dress was made of tweed fabric, which is Chanel's most celebrated fabric, which Carl really used a lot in most of his collection. But the gown at the same time was so contemporary and so classic. It had a kind of the craftsman. If you look at the craftsmanship as a designer, just the way the tweed was turned into flowers and the pearls, and the way her hair was done, very, very classic. I loved it. Another one who I really liked was Cara Delevingne on the red carpet, because she did the Karl Lagerfeld's white hair look with a simple white cotton shirt dress, which I think was Karl's thing. So these are the two looks that I absolutely loved. I also really liked, this may sound absurd, but Kylie Jenner, because although
I
it was
love
not
that
very,
look, the red, and
yeah, the
this
red,
was so serene, elegant, and at the same time very luxurious also.
yeah, there was something like it old classic, old world glamour she had in that look, and she still made it very contemporary and young, and it was beautiful. So these are my top three looks for sure.
And what's your take on the recent Neeta Ambani's event? The
Oh my God,
inauguration
I
of
loved it.
cultural
I
center.
loved that
Whose
they
look
have.
did you admire the most during that time?
Uh, 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 uh,
Difficult.
I liked, someone who is really making fashion statements today, and who's changed her game on the red carpet, is Bhumi Pednekar.
Hmm.
I think she has, of late, she's doing these looks that she's like dishing out some really hot looks, and she blew my mind even on the red carpet at.
But don't you think that even in Indian, designs and outfits, Hollywood stars during that particular event stole all the limelight, like Zendaya and even Priyanka Chopra,
But Priyanka Chopra is Indian,
all the limelight. She's
and
lovely
Priyanka Chopra just steals the limelight everywhere
everywhere.
she goes.
Yeah, absolutely.
So there is that, like, they are the people who you don't put in a competition. Like
Hmm.
they are the people who are just killing it. Like, that, like, they're ahead of it. They're not in the competition, and that's why for me Bhumi Pednekar really stood out, is because she's managed to arrive,
Hmm.
and uh, if you see her looks previously on the red carpet as compared to what she's dishing out now, she's really grown. Like, I love the glam that she's bringing. That's why Bhumi Pednekar for me. But otherwise, obviously, everyone had, Gigi had a look, Zendaya had a look, everyone had fabulous looks. You can't really put a finger on who outdid who.
Hmm.
Everyone was amazing. Yeah.
I'm so sorry, Richa ji. I had this,
No, 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 it is
urge to ask
very
her
interesting.
about these looks.
It's
So back
very
to you. Yeah.
love hearing. Okay, just one question I would like to ask her is that what are your must carry beauty products when you're going for a shoot? Something, something you always feel that,
Okay,
should
so
be there in
something
your
that
bag.
I always carry, and this is very, very, I carry my own skin foundation, because a lot of times, I remember when I started modeling, people would not have a dusky color. They would take a long time to find the right match. So just to make life easy for everyone on set, I started carrying my own skin foundation to so that like makeup artists don't spend too long. Now obviously there's so much awareness and people have really like studied makeup so well. You have so many homegrown Indian brands that finding your skin color foundation is not such a big deal, but at one time it was. So out of habit I just carry my own base. Another thing that I always carry is a moisturizer or a primer because it's just good to prep your skin. And I'm someone who always goes prepared. I like to prep my skin and go. The great makeup artist, the good makeup artist, prep your skin. Sometimes there is no time. Sometimes they just, you reach set and before you know it, they're like, okay, 5 minutes, maybe she's wanted on set. Just do the, just do something. So I just that kind of shakes me up a bit. So I prep my skin and I go and I always carry like a moisturizer with me. And I think I carry a nude lip shade for myself. Or I always think that it's a little tricky to find the right nude for different skin tones. Uh, what may be a nude for someone who's fair may not be a nude for someone who's dusky. So I carry my own nude lip color. Besides that, I don't bother carrying too much on set.
Okay, now you're talking about the shades. Just one more question I wanted to ask. See, skin tone, the fairness creams, fairness, zero size, all these things used to be very much important in past. Do you think that the mindset has changed? Do you think that now, people are not trying to change the skin color, tone, or they're not pressurizing you? How much of pressure women
Yeah,
have in industry?
I see it. I won't lie. The pressure previously was enormous because you're expected to be a certain size. You are expected to be fitting a certain size because it just makes it easy for the designers. It's not that people want you to be skinny or people want models to be thin. It's just that clothes for the runway are made in a particular size, which makes it easy for the designer. Look, a human is making 40 garments which he wants to sell. Those 40 garments can't be made in different sizes. He would make it in a size, and so they would want models of a particular size so that they fit the garment. Nobody was trying to promote anything unhealthy over there. But the problem happens when suddenly that size that you started seeing on the runway started becoming the standard of beauty. That was where the problem began. The problem began when they said, okay, only a person with a 26 waist is beautiful. No one ever said that. And it's not possible that a woman can have a 26 waist throughout her life. It's not going to be possible. You can have a 26 waist till maybe you're 26, 27, hormones take over. You may get pregnant, you may have children, or things change, your body changes, your skin changes, everything changes. So these standards of beauty started becoming so high that coping with that, and it's not just for a model. I think the standard has really ruined it for a lot of women in different fields. Like people working in the corporate are expected to dress up a certain way and show up at office in a certain way. Similarly for models as well. I did feel the pressure when I started, but today's woke, extremely woke audience has changed a lot of things, and I'm really grateful to them. I think it's great because there were so many times I was not allowed in for an audition because of my skin color, saying that, oh, she's dusky, we need upmarket people. And when they say upmarket, it means fair skin to sell a luxury brand. On the other side, fashion was very accepting of dusky girls. Fashion wanted dusky girls. Fashion wanted dark skin girls, brown skin girls. But advertising was not always this welcoming. It took a lot of knocking on a lot of doors constantly, and then trends changing. And I call it a trend because I honestly feel that today when people are casting, it's more of a trend that we want to be inclusive in nature. We want one thin girl, we want one healthy girl, we want one model looking girl. It's kind of a trend. So I hope that the trend stays. If it's a trend, I hope that people continue to be inclusive. I do hope that this kind of advertising does change the way people look at beauty and the standards that are held high for beauty. I do hope it changes.
So you think that you said that in the side of photography and the still pictures, the demand for dusky models has always been there.
Yes,
But the same is not the case with advertising or with electronic media.
it was not. It has changed now.
Hmm. Okay. So you feel that Bollywood also has a similar kind of set of preferences when it comes to casting?
Um, I don't know. See, Bollywood for me has changed right now. There was a time when it was Bollywood. Now there's Bollywood and there's OTT. And
Hmm.
OTT has many more acting options. And OTT is not so hell bent on look aise hona chahiye. They are more about you have to have your acting chops in place.
Hmm.
Maybe Bollywood was like that, but I can't really comment on that because I've not been a part of Bollywood per se.
Hmm.
I can say that maybe because they're catering to a larger audience and a larger audience did like fair skin,
Hmm.
there was a prejudice,
Hmm.
but not with the current opportunities that are out there, not with the kind of content that is made out there, not with the kind of filmmakers that are there today, or
Hmm.
people who are casting today. I think these prejudices are slowly completely getting washed down the drain.
So, Richa ji, I want to ask you about your input on, skincare routine for a women like Priyanka, who are traveling and shooting and under a lot of applying a lot of grease paint also for the purpose of shoots, etc. And some tips for models who are in the same, work. So, some makeup and skincare tips, if you can share.
Yeah, I think Priyanka is taking care of her skin well because she's got that Ramban coconut oil, which is really good, which has a good, it is a very healthy thing for the hair, for the skin, even for the makeup remover. We use it many times. It's very good because it's got nothing harmful. General routine for any model, I would suggest, is cleansing, toning, moisturizing, which is a must thing. But the most important thing is that makeup removing. People don't
Yeah.
care. Morning, may people do. The evening, they very carelessly remove their makeup. They do not moisturize it or hydrate it. Hydration is very important. Moisturizing anybody. Also, one thing very important is that people are doing too much of peels and too much of they get invasive treatments, which I
Mm.
think should be avoided only when you need it. It should be done. Like Priyanka, she said that she's just taking care of her skin with normal cleansing routine and the moisturizing, hydration, everything. She's doing it with the coconut oil. So a person should understand the skin. If it is required in after makeup removing, the definitely night regime you want to add, you can add the cream, you can add the serums if and what they are required as per your skin type, as per your age factor. These things are there. And like she said it, that when she's going for a shoot, she carry her primer, which is very important. She carry a foundation because the color is a problem. A sunscreen, which everyone knows they need to
Yeah.
carry to apply. But one more thing which I would suggest the models and the actresses and everyone is that they should also start carrying a heat protection spray. What happens is,
Yeah.
because there's so much of rush this thing, so what happens is that many of the hairdressers are not using heat protection, and all the instruments which are they using, all the equipments they're using for the hair is damaging because of the heat factor. So can add the heat protection spray other than the
Correct.
primer, which is the moisturizer. These are the three things, and the sunscreen, which everyone knows is must. So I think that is
Correct.
what I would people.
Perfect. Next time, I would like to know more about, some nice serums for you, for, people like me also, who could use before going to sleep, something anti-aging also, and a few different tips and tricks. And well, Priyanka, anything else? If you think that we have left out, we have missed out on something
Just one question.
important. Yeah, sure, please, please.
Is we've not heard about her diet, her favorite food.
Yeah, yes, yes, yes.
What
So
Being
my
from being
dish?
from South, being from Kerala, and not knowing
Yeah.
about all those, nutritious dishes and diet regime will not be, without that, the interview will not be complete. So please tell us.
so I fish is a major part of my diet, and I consume a lot of fish throughout the week. Obviously, coconut and coconut gravies makes the base of a lot of Malayali food. So by default, I consume a lot of coconut chutney or coconut gravy. I'm someone who eats uh, like I really listen to my body. There are days when my body asks for a lot of food and I give it. There are days when my body is balanced and I have a very balanced diet. I do have a lot of fruits and vegetables as a part. So when I serve myself, when I'm serving myself, I do make sure I take a lot of vegetables, a little lesser fish in my plate, and less. Maybe I stick to ragi, bajra, or red rice for my thing. And none of this has to do with maintaining a certain figure. It's just that because I practice martial arts, because I realize the difference it shows when I'm performing as an artist. I realized that my kicks are stronger when I've stopped having sugar completely. I don't have sugar. And I don't think sugar should be called sugar. I think sugar should be called poison. If you all are consuming sugar, you all are consuming poison, and that's just me. You can consume it if you want to, but if you stop sugar for around 40 days, you will see a huge difference in your skin and just your energy levels through the day. You'll see, if you're a performing artist, you will see that you'll be able to perform more in the same amount of time. So when I realized that difference of giving up sugar, I completely stopped sugar. I do consume fruits. Fruits has is sweet by nature, so my taste buds are kind of satisfied. But I always make sure to satisfy my taste buds when I'm eating. I can never eat something that I don't find tasty. So even if I can take, what do you like, I will never overeat because there is food on the plate. The minute I feel satisfied, I'm done, and that's when I stop. And I think I have like a very good relationship with my body. Yeah, I think it listens to me and I listen to it. If I have like a bikini shoot coming, and or someone expects of me to have abs for a shoot or something, uh, I can instantly sculpt my body, and also my body listens to me. I don't know how that happens, but it's maybe out of practice. So I just think that give your body what it requires. If you feel like you need to eat something sweet in the moment, eat it. And if you feel that you're eating too much, you are eating too much. So stop at that point. Don't. And it's crazy because the minute I stay in Bandra, the minute you step out, there are a lot of options to completely corrupt you, like from sev puri to pani puri to street food to fine dining. There are a lot. So do it all. I would never say don't do it, but do it only when your body is really asking for it. Don't make it a habit. Don't make it a habit to go and eat junk food every evening at 6 o'clock. I know a lot of people who are like, oh, it's time for samosa snack now. No, it's not time for samosa snack. You've made your body used to it. So, you know, there will be a day when your body craves for samosa. and you'll relish the food. You'll be more mindful of it when you eat it at that time. So this is my concept of food and how I consume my food.
Yeah.
Great. It was a very good conversation, and whatever she shared is beautiful. Thank you, Priyanka.
Thank you, Richard. It was same here. It was lovely talking to the both of you all.
Thank you so much, Priyanka. I'll connect with Rose now if I have some other question or query for the magazine also. And it was
Definitely.
really lovely talking to you. Thank you for your time and
Thank you, guys.
all the inspiring instances and experiences that you've shared with us today. And
Thank you.
thank you so much. Look forward to connect with you again. Thank you so much.
Definitely, definitely. Thank you both.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye bye. Have a
Thank
good
you.
evening.
Thank you.